New inmates with the Nebraska Department of Corrections after 3 Scottsbluff County offenders sentenced to 8+ years. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, a Scottsbluff County District Judge showed little leniency for a Scottsbluff offender after his second arrest for firing gunshots in the air. A witness contacted police in February after 26-year-old Quentin Beery was seen walking down 2nd Avenue and firing 5 or 6 shots in the air. That incident followed a 2024 incident on 7th Avenue where he was convicted on attempted possession of a firearm by a prohibited person, where he was ultimately sentenced to a 1 to 2 year jail term. However, last week in district court, Judge Andrea Miller sentenced Beery to 8 to 15 years in prison, bringing his total sentence on the 2 cases up to 9 to 17 years, with a projected release date from prison coming in the year 2034. Well, a 22-year-old Gering man who pleaded no contest to a charge of possession of child pornography this summer in Scottsbluff County District Court has been sentenced. According to an arrest affidavit, a probation officer reported that Keagan Powell had been sexting a juvenile female and solicited explicit videos and pictures from her. Powell was serving a 2-year probation term after being convicted of attempted first-degree sexual assault in Dawson County in April last year. On Wednesday, Judge Leo Dobrovony sentenced Powell to 8 to 12 years in prison, as well as requiring him to be a registered sex offender for the rest of his life. And a Torrington man who was nabbed with 2.5 ounces of methamphetamine in a stolen pickup in May has been sentenced to spend the next 8 to 15 years in prison with the Nebraska Department of Corrections. 28-year-old Sean Feagler was arrested back in May following a Scottsbluff County Sheriff's Office investigation. In August, in district court, he pled to the Class 1C felony charge of possession of meth 28 to 140 grams with intent to distribute. In exchange for his plea, all remaining counts were dropped. He was back in court last week for sentencing, where Judge Miller ordered a mandatory minimum 5-year prison sentence before any good time could even begin to be earned. Co-defendant Alexander Padilla will be back in court in November for his pretrial hearing. We'll have more news right after this.
The journey of a dream becoming reality. When we're young, a dream develops into a passion. That passion continues to manifest and grows as you do. It becomes all you want to do and all you want to be. It gives you direction. It drives you. Then your dream has become a reality. When that dream is ready to be reality, Platte Valley Bank will be with you every step of the way.
I would definitely recommend Allo's business services to other companies. Allo's next-gen firewalls have allowed us to tie 6 physical locations together along with numerous remote employees to produce and collaborate and generate content for our local radio group. It is very important for Nebraska Rural Radio Association to have the best in internet and phone service. We rely upon that every single day. Allo provided me with a solution that fit our needs. They have a quality product, great technical support, and a local presence in their community.
Welcome back. Residents voiced both support and concern last week about the Regional Crisis Stabilization and Substance Use Treatment Center that will be going into the former Kimball Health Services Hospital. Region 1 Behavioral Health Authority and Central Wyoming Counseling Center, which will be operating the center, hosted an open meeting on the plan Wednesday night. CWCC CEO Jim Cowser told those gathered that contrary to some reports, the facility would not be an opioid treatment center.
A subacute psychiatric service that also can treat folks with substance use disorders. So we really want to build an environment here for clients to come in and have a person-centered approach to what their needs are, get them stabilized and get them help and link them to providers in their community.
Resident Gretchen Spitz, who described herself as a recovering addict, said the center is needed to help people get to the root of drug-induced mental health problems.
It's already here, and we're getting the same repeat offenders over and over in jail, and they just go out and go right back. They're not getting to the core of the problem. We need the help, we need the counseling, we need this for people.
Among those voicing safety concerns was Taylor Brown, who said while the services are needed, he was concerned because he's probably the closest neighbor to the facility.
I would have to have a personal guarantee from you that there is never, ever going to be something that happens that I'm going to have to worry about my wife who stays at home and my 5-year-old and my 10-year-old niece during the summer while I'm at work.
Officials are hopeful to have the center operational in a few months, with 31 staffers handling up to 12 clients at a time, with a law enforcement outpost and mobile services the first year, and potentially adding 4 youth beds once the program gets established.
Are you looking for the perfect place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn and Suites front desk.
I imagined retirement in a place where we could enjoy our golden years, where adventure and friendship are the only items on the schedule. The Garden Homes at Northfield gives us the luxury we planned for and peace of mind when it comes to convenience, safety, and comfort. We never have to stop and think about the day-to-day upkeep. We love to explore abroad, but most importantly in our backyard. So much to do, so much to see. Here at Northfield, we get the protection of life care, incredible tax benefits, and secured rates for aging services. It's peaceful, knowing that if our needs change, we'll be taken care of. And most importantly, that our kids will never have to make any tough decisions. There never seemed to be enough time to do all the things we wanted. Now we get to focus our energy on enjoying what this community has to offer. At the Garden Homes, life is ours again. A place we had dreamed about. A chance to focus on us.
It was another big Hall of Fame induction night this past Friday at Scottsbluff High School. Our own Trayton Harmon stopped at Scottsbluff High Friday evening, where it was the 3rd annual SHS Hall of Fame induction ceremony, where there were a total of 19 athletes, coaches, contributors, and teams that were honored and enshrined. It was a dual type of night for Dave Hawksworth, who was inducted for his 31 years of service with the school district, most recently as activities director. Hawksworth talks about the event as a whole, which he's helped put together the first 3 years.
When we started this project 3 years ago, we talked about having a kind of a 3-year plan where we really wanted to get the no-brainers in there, people that were in the Nebraska High School Hall of Fame, but also are ones that have had many state championships and things like that. And so what it's really turned into, it's been kind of neat, is kind of a class reunion type feel. You know, the people really enjoy getting together at this, and they talk and they're having fun and they're making plans for the weekend, and so that's what's been really special.
Of course, when asked about the group and who was being inducted, he deflected to some of the athletes and teams that were on hand for the big night.
So Jordan Wilberger played volleyball at Nebraska, and so she's coming back. Jennifer Camps, she was a thrower at Indiana. And so we're looking forward to having those two back here in the mix. Matthew Barraza, probably one of our most accomplished runners at Scottsbluff history. I mean, the titles that he had individually and also part of relay teams was just amazing, and what he did in cross-country team. Some of our older guys that are passed away and deceased, but Sam Neely, learned about his story, was really cool. Went on to fly fighter jets and ended up passing away in a bombing. I believe it was World War II. And so his nephew is Sam Neely, also is coming back to accept the award on his behalf. So some of those stories, Don Morris got to meet and talk with their family over email and on the phone, and also Chuck Halstead. You know, some of the others, Tyler Nation is going in this year, John Franklin and Adam Reed, who Adam here in town with Paul Reed Construction. John Franklin went back to Kansas, where he originally came from. He was a Bearcat for a couple years anyway, and won some wrestling, and also was just a dynamite football player for us. So it's going to be nice having all those guys back, and a couple ladies also going in this year along with our teams. So.
The class of 1984 was represented as Jay Ayler was inducted on Friday night. Jay, also a key member of the Hall of Fame committee, who spends countless hours putting the pieces together for this type of event. Ayler says he's been blown away by how well received the first 3 years have been.
Just look at tonight, there's going to be over 250 people here for dinner. There's been several team members that show up. That their team is being inducted. So just how well received it is, and just kind of, we all like to look at our old high school days and what we were able to accomplish, and the people that we were teammates of ours and coaches of ours, and so I think that's probably the biggest thing.
The Scottsbluff cross-country teams from years past were dominant. Head coach Jim Barker was a big reason why, and on this night, Barker and some of his former runners got together to celebrate an era as the 2003 through 2005 teams were inducted into the Scottsbluff Hall of Fame.
Well, the 03 team, it's their youth, in that the year before we came off a near runner-up. We got third. But we had 3 freshmen in the lineup. So the next year as sophomores, we literally had 4 sophomores and 2 juniors on that 03 winning team. No seniors. We come back the next year, and it's 5 out of the 6 were on the 04 team, plus another runner, and nobody came close to us that year. We were so good and just pumped, and they were ready. The 05 team, we had to work. York and us, it was kind of a dual meet at the state meet, where our assignment was to be ahead of each York runner, and we beat them by 1, but they followed our plan, and that one always stands out because that was the hardest of the 3, actually.
After the induction ceremony at the high school, everyone made their way to Bearcat Stadium, where they were recognized again in front of the crowd at the home football game for the Bearcats against York. Moving forward, expect the classes to be a little bit smaller, as they've done a lot of the heavy lifting these first 3 years and going back and getting those most deserving taken care of. That's the latest today from the Sports Desk. I'm Chris Cottrell.
When it comes to your health, you deserve the very best. At Morrill County Community Hospital, they provide top-notch care with compassion and expertise. From routine checkups to advanced surgeries, their dedicated team is here for you 24/7. With state-of-the-art technology and a patient-first approach, they ensure you and your loved ones receive the highest quality care. Because at Morrill County Community Hospital, your health is their priority. Visit Morrill County Community Hospital today in Bridgeport. Morrill County Community Hospital. Exceptional care right here at home.
let's take a look at your community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether you are just starting the business you have always imagined or looking to grow your existing one, we have a business loan to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, changes to city codes will be the focus when the Gering City Council meets at City Hall tonight at 6 p.m. City staff is proposing several changes in the city's snow removal code, including how much snowfall is needed for declaration of an emergency, designation of secondary emergency snow routes, and an increase in the fine for failure to comply with emergency parking requirements. With 4 inches of snow on the streets, an emergency would also impact 20 side streets feeding main routes as secondary snow routes, with residents required to park on only one side of the street to make room for snow plows, and the vehicle parking fine would rise from $50 to $250. The council will also hold a third and final reading on ordinances making changes to the city's comp plan, primarily clarifying commercial nodes, and another making changes to allowable land use by zoning district, as well as second reading on an ordinance making the city's zoning protest process mirror state laws regarding how and when a supermajority of the council would be needed to approve a zoning change request. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.